So the biggest thing that tends to cause clients to lose a lot more money is them not listening to their lawyer's advice. So it is no secret that one of the biggest mistakes that tends to cost clients a lot of money in a divorce is them not listening to their attorneys. A lot of times, attorneys will give advice or attorneys will give recommendations. And if the client just completely ignores it, it can really damage the legal strategy, which means it could cost the party that you're representing a lot more money, a lot more time on your part, which then will equate to more money out of their pocket. So, the biggest thing that tends to cause clients to lose a lot more money is them not listening to their lawyer's advice. Now, on the law firm side, what tends to cause law firms a lot of money is first, not being very clear about how the finances for this case or the cost of this case are likely to go. When you're not upfront with your clients, you tend to find yourself fighting or haggling with the cost of legal support when you get well into the case. So the best thing you can do is just be very clear about, hey, here's what we can generally expect for the type of case that we're supporting. And that way the client knows up front. The second one is making sure that you're billing in a timely manner. I know when you're doing the casework and you're deep into all of the legal work, you may not feel like taking a step out to then work on the administrative side or processing the bills. But one of the trends that we've seen is lawyers who take a longer time to actually bill their clients tend to have more collections issue, which means if you can't collect, that means the firm loses money or the firm is unable to actually get the revenue from that case because the client didn't pay. And then the third thing that I would say is not having a follow-up process. I know a lot of times when you're working on the case, you're working with a client and you may, assume that, hey, the client saw every invoice that you sent them. So, hey, they're going to pay. You're just going to keep working on the case. But what ends up happening a lot of times is that the client may not have seen your invoice. And actually, the client is going through probably a very traumatic situation in their life, which means they probably aren't studying their email or their inbox as much as you are or as much as you would hope that they are. So when you do send an invoice, if the client doesn't pay, it is okay to do a friendly reminder or a friendly follow up. Because if you wait too long, what ends up happening is that invoice ends up not getting paid. And if that invoice doesn't get paid, then your firm is missing out on more and more revenue. But at the same time, your firm still has costs that it needs to cover. So in the end, your firm loses because you don't have a good follow-up processes for unpaid invoices. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Family Law Firm Finance Show. At the end of the day, we make finance less complicated so you can build a more profitable law firm. If this was helpful for you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow us for more great content.